But our guest is 448-720-750, 1-800-WSB Talk. But our guest is on the phone. He is author Brad Meltzer. Hey, Mr. Meltzer, how you doing, my brother?
It's only Brad. You know that, brother.
All right, yes, sir. I got to tell you, before we get into the JFK conspiracy, I got to tell you. So years ago, I moved to Atlanta. I became a Mason here in Atlanta. And a couple years after I became a Mason, I was going through Barnes & Noble. I'm a huge reader. I love your book. Well, this is when I found you. But I'm a huge Clancy fan, Patterson fan, Douglas Berry, Brad Thor, all, the whole genre, right? And I'm walking through Barnes & Noble, and I saw a Book of Fate. And because you had the square and compass so proud, so big on the cover, I was like, "Oh, this must be a great book," and that's how I found you.
I appreciate that. We have so many great Masons who thank me. They come to every event and they say, "I just want to thank you, Brad. You're the only one who says we're not trying to take over the world and steal everyone's babies." So,
exactly. So that's how I found you, and I appreciate you.
They've been so kind to me. We, in fact, launched the Book of Fate at Freemason at the headquarters, the Scottish Rite headquarters in Washington, D.C., because they really helped me with the book when I was researching it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good stuff. So tell us about the JFK conspiracy, the secret plot to kill Kennedy, and why it failed.
Yeah, so let's paint the picture. It's Sunday morning in 1960, right after JFK is elected, and he's headed to church. And what he doesn't know is there's a retired postal worker named Richard Pavlik who's trying to kill him and who has filled his car with 7 sticks of dynamite. And Pavlik's followed JFK to Palm Beach, Florida, because he believes that that's where JFK's security is the weakest, and he's right about that. And all this assassin has to do is hit the little trigger mechanism that he's built, and boom, will go the dynamite. And what saves JFK's life that day, I don't want to ruin it for you,
right?
But it has to do with Jackie, and it's one of the craziest JFK stories you've never heard in your life. Although I think I just ruined chapter 1 of the JFK conspiracy for you. That's chapter 1.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Brad is going to be at the Atlanta History Center this Thursday, January 16th at 7 p.m. You can go to the AtlantaHistoryCenter.com website and click on that website. Go to event Brad Meltzer, and you'll get more information. But you should go to this event. My question to you is: one, why haven't we ever heard this story before? And two, what was JFK doing in Palm Beach? Did he have a house down there?
Yeah, so he did have a house down there, but let's talk about the first question. Why do you not know this story? And it's because on the day that it was about to break nationwide, it was a huge story, obviously, in Florida when it happened. But the day it was supposed to go nationwide, 2 planes collided in midair, and everyone above New York, and it happens above New York City, everyone's on board is killed, except for one young boy is the sole survivor. And America becomes obsessed with this young kid. And what it does is it takes JFK's story off the front page, puts it into the inner pages of the newspapers, and it becomes a footnote to history until Josh mentioned, my co-writer, are like, we got to tell this story. But as for what he was doing in Palm Beach, let's just discuss that a moment. I mean, one of the things that I love about this book is the fact that it features Jackie Kennedy. And they went down there because he had a place down in Florida. And we don't pull punches when we show what happened. We show you JFK's affairs that he had. We show you how he was cheating on her. We show you that when Jackie gave birth and was hemorrhaging, JFK is nowhere to be found. He's headed to Florida on a plane, and she's in the hospital in D.C. And I kept asking myself, why do they call this place Camelot? And then I discovered the reason why we call it Camelot is after JFK was killed. After the assassination, Jackie grants one interview exclusively to Life magazine, and she tells the reporter this story, that when JFK's back was hurting and he was in pain in the White House, she would put on this record for him, one of his favorite songs about a place called Camelot. Now, Jackie started her career as a member of the press. So she was a member of the press. She was hounded by the press. But make no mistake, she was a master of the press.
Right.
She's the one who put that word into the lexicon, writing JFK's legacy before anyone else could. That's why we call it Camelot.
So now this question I should have asked early on. Is he president yet, or is he about to be inaugurated? You may have mentioned that. What's the time frame of this conspiracy?
Yeah, so this is right after he's elected. It's in December. So he gets elected in November. And the reason we tell this story, Mark, let's just be clear.
Oh,
It's very
Shelley, but it's
titillating
okay.
for me
Go
to
ahead,
say,
keep
hey,
going.
we found the secret plot to kill Kennedy. But it's only interesting if it informs us about something today.
Gotcha.
And to me, in 1960, just as he's elected, it's right where we are right now. Okay? It's truly, the president's not inaugurated yet. It's the most bitterly divided election that America has ever seen in modern time. Whatever side you were on, you hated the other side. You thought they were complete, utter morons. Does that sound familiar to you?
Right.
Right? It's exactly where we are now. And it begs the question of what happens. We had a lot of people who hated JFK. They thought he was, there were groups that thought because he was Catholic,
Right.
he couldn't be loyal to the United States. He would be loyal only to the Pope, which sounds absurd now, but that's what people thought back then.
Right.
The KKK said, you know what, he's even worse. He's an immigrant. The KKK saw him as an Irish Catholic immigrant who came to this country to ruin it. And when you put out all that venom, you can't be surprised when you activate someone. And that's what happened to this assassin. He heard those words and was like, yeah, this guy is an Irish Catholic immigrant. I got to do something about him, make America better again. And that's what happened. They went after him. And, and the sad part is when you see what's happening in our current state of politics, it's just going to keep happening.
Yes, we're on the phone with Brad Meltzer, author of The JFK Conspiracy, The Secret Plot to Kill Kennedy and Why It Failed. He's going to be at the Atlanta History Center on Thursday, January 16th at 7 p.m. Similar, you talk about what's going on today and how the times are similar, the actions are similar, the coverage is similar, the hatred is similar. We also had two attempts on candidate Trump's life. Is there any correlations between those, the attempts on President Trump's life twice, and this and what you wrote about in the book? And then also, is there any thought on your part or any idea on your part to write a book called The Trump Conspiracy and what transpired with those two attempts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad. Listen, it's a disaster when you see anyone targeted. Whatever you think about any politician, it's terrible to me. And the one thing, I've spoken to the Secret Service about this, and they explained to me there are two types of assassins who try to target presidents. And they're divided into two categories: hunters and howlers. And a howler makes a lot of noise. They say, I hate that guy, I'm going to kill him, I'm coming for him. But they rarely take action. A hunter is very different. A hunter is someone who rarely says a word, but they're the ones who tend to pull the trigger. And if you look at the four men who have successfully killed a U.S. president, from Abraham Lincoln all the way to JFK, every single one of them is a hunter. And Richard Pavlik in our JFK conspiracy book he starts as a hunter, but one of the reasons why he gets tripped up and why he's not successful is because he has a little bit of howler in him, and he opens his big mouth. And the sad part is, I do think we're going to see, sadly, more of this happen, because you can't say that you're the best fighter and you're going to take everyone on and not expect everyone to throw punches back at you. And
Absolutely.
And I wish the world weren't that way, but it's just where we are right now.
Brad Meltzer, author of The JFK Conspiracy, The Secret Plot to Kill Kennedy and Why It Failed. He's going to be at the Atlanta History Center on Thursday, January 16th at 7 p.m. Go to the Atlanta History Center website and click on it for all the information and to sign up and to attend. Brad, I appreciate you, brother, and keep up the great work and keep writing great books, because I need things to read. I read about 3 books about a month, and I need more. I need more, my brother.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend, and I appreciate you taking a chance on my thrillers and then coming in on this real life history. Whatever genre we're in, you're cheering for us, and it means more than I can express. So thanks.
God bless.
You too, man. God bless.